So much, Aditya, for those inputs. We're moving on to some breaking developments that's coming in, where a powerful explosion has once again struck Jaffar Express train near the Sultankot area close to the Sindh-Balochistan border, derailing multiple coaches of the Quetta-bound passenger train. According to initial reports, the blast was caused by an IED planted on the tracks, purportedly placed by Baloch rebels. Rescue teams and security forces have rushed to the scene to assist the injured and secure the area, while medical crews have provided emergency treatment to the passengers, the report has said. Officials have said that an investigation is underway to determine who was behind the attack and how the explosives were planted. Preliminary rescue updates confirmed several injuries, though the extent of casualties and damage is yet to be fully assessed. We are also right now learning that the attack on Pakistan's Jaffar Express train that occurred near Sultankot in Sindh was on its way from Peshawar in Pakistan. It was on its way to Quetta in Balochistan. The rescue operations are still underway at the spot, while we are also learning right now that 5 bogies of the train were derailed due to this bomb attack. My colleague Ajay Jandyal will help us decode this breaking input that's coming in from Balochistan. Ajay, what updates can you give us? 5 coaches have been derailed of this train that was attacked presumably by Baloch rebels who planted an IED in the train. What are you picking up on?
Yes, you rightly said, because this is not the first such attack on the Jaffar Express, and if you see that for last several months, this is the third such attack in which Pakistani army was attacked first when this train was hijacked, and later we have seen that one Jaffar Express was attacked again by carrying out an explosion on the track, and this time once again ID was planted in a Jaffar Express which derailed 5 of the bogies of Jaffar Express, which led to injuries to more than 50 people. We can see in the visuals that how injured they have been shifted to the ambulance so that they can be taken to the hospital. But it shows that how capable Pakistani forces are. Those who are trying to threat India that we will carry out attack, we will not stop the war if once again anything happens. They are not able to control only few numbers of BLA people, those who are active there, and Balochistan once again has been in the news because of the BLA attack on the Jaffar Express, and this time once again it was happening there in the Balochistan Sindh area, where when Sultankot train there reached Sultankot area, ID explosion took place, and it was a huge explosion which resulted into injury to more than 50 people, and several of them, they are very grievously injured and they have been shifted to the hospital.
Right, Ajay, please stay on with us. We'll continue to track this story. In fact, as you rightly mentioned, that this powerful explosion was not the first time that's happened in Balochistan. We have seen 3 more such attacks previously in the same area, and however we can now see on your screens also how 5 bogies or 5 coaches were derailed after this powerful bomb attack, and rescue operations are currently underway. We can also see how first aid is now being given to those people who have been injured in the attack. Ajay, do we know what is the casualty number that's coming in according to preliminary reports?
See, if you talk about the number of injured, that shows that more than 50 people are injured, and casualties. There is input of about 2 to 3 casualty, but we are waiting for the official to confirm it that how much exactly that people have lost their life in this terror attack. But yes, that one thing is clear, that 5 bogies were derailed, and that's why the people are saying that more than 50 people are injured, because every bogie carries about 50 to 70 people, and even if the number of people were less than that, there are possibility that number could go up, and those who are injured, they are also very grievously injured. It's a train accident, and everyone knows that if train accident or train derail took place, then what takes place, then what happens. So that's why there are apprehension that number of casualties could go up, and number of injuries also could go up, because the time when this incident took place and the location from where reinforcement had to come, that took a lot of time, and even now when they have to be shifted to the hospital, that is also taking time. So that's why it's a matter of concern for the people's life, but how Pakistan forces and Pakistani government has to provide them facility, that has to be seen, because they always treat people of Balochistan and other area, they third grade citizens. So that is the reason that why people are protesting over there, whether it is a Balochistan, whether it is a Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, POK, or the Gilgit-Baltistan.
All right, Ajay, stay on with us as we have some more breaking inputs on this story. Meanwhile, joining me live on the broadcast is defense expert Major General retired A.K. Sivach. Major General, thank you for giving us your time. We appreciate you joining us. We have some breaking inputs that's coming in from Balochistan. We are seeing how the Baloch rebels presumably have planted an IED on the Jaffar Express. Again, this is the third time in recent history. Do you think this will lead to results, or this is just leading up to massive protests in the Balochistan area?
Finding out in Balochistan, I think the time has come that Balochistan will now get separated from Pakistan. You know, the freedom struggle which has started a long time. Now it is coming to the time, because you find that the fact of news that you find of incidents taking place in Balochistan or in Jaffar Express, it has been 5 years. Where number is phenomenal. Now the Balochistan Liberation Army put control of Balochistan. Out of the 5 army. So it looks like that Balochistan Liberation Army is by and large holding the control of Balochistan. And why it is happening is, see, Balochistan is a largest province of Pakistan, which is very rich in minerals, so like copper, zinc, cobalt, gas, oil. But it is the poorest, because, point is that the Pakistan has been exploiting Balochistan. They are exploiting the resources, and there are human rights violations taking place in Balochistan. They are considered as second-class citizens, rightly so, because they have occupied it forcibly in 1948. And since then, the freedom struggle is going on. But the worst-case scenario is it was earlier Pakistan which was exploiting Balochistan. Now, with China-Pakistan economic corridor coming, it is also China which is exploiting Balochistan. And in Gwadar port, where the fishermen could go into the sea for fishing, in last about 3 years, no one can venture out. Complete area of Gwadar, almost by 200 kilometer nautical miles, that exclusive economic zone is also with the China. So the point today is that the Balochistan has made their mind. The BLA is now forfeiting this freedom struggle. Whatever it may come, they will not stay with Pakistan. And to me, it looks like that is going to become a ground reality. Though they are not having a psychological impact with the TTP, but they have an operational tie-up with Taliban Pakistan, which is operating in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And both are now striking very hard on Pakistan defense forces. To me, it looks like that with political instability, economic crisis, and terrorism increasing manifold, Pakistan is now going toward a civil war. And the time is not too far off. Well, Pakistan
absolutely, sir.
That is Pakistan and Punjab, and join in. This is a part which is illegally occupied.
Absolutely, sir. I'll come back to you in a bit. I'm also joined by Major General retired Sudhakar ji. Major General ji, please help us understand there are persistent security challenges in the area. We have been seeing Baloch rebels. In fact, there have been uprisings in the past as well, but this is now very frequent. Pakistan is also facing a twofold war in the West, and even in POK we have seen recent unrest. How do you look at this? Even India has, in fact, raised this issue at the United Nations forums of the Baloch, them not getting freedom.
Yeah, Shivani, good afternoon. Thank you for getting me for your show. Excellent point raised by you. I must compliment General Ashwani Shivaj for articulating very relevant issues. In fact, he deserves to have the last say. And now coming to the issue which you have raised, one needs to understand why is it happening, what is happening. That is the moot issue. It has to be seen in the backdrop of what is happening around the world. No security imperative or any kind of issue can ever be analyzed in isolation. One has to join the dots. One should be mindful of the fact that Balochistan is the largest province. It has got almost about 44% plus of landmass. It has got the rich mineral, and we should be aware as to what is happening in the Middle East. Recently, on 11th of June, Iran was subjected to a kind of a bombardment by the US forces, which had promised to stay away from the conflict, ongoing conflict. And mindful of the fact that there is a strategy which is already in place, and we call it as the tentacles of the Iran, which are spreading all over in the Middle East. They have their own bearing, and Iran itself is the arch rival of Israel. But Balochistan or Pakistan per se has got sharing a border of approximately 906 kilometers. And we should not lose sight of the centrality of the issue. The centrality of the issue is that Balochistan was never legally, technically speaking, and as per the international rules-based order, it was never part of Pakistan. That has to be understood. It was an independent, autonomous state with bicameral parliament, with a flag, with a constitution, with the people who had gone in for elections. They had their own leaders. And at gunpoint, way back in 1948, the king of Kalat was brought, and at gunpoint, in presence of the Jinnah, he was made to sign a treaty of accession when the standstill agreement was invoked. These are the paradigm of controversies and the paradoxes one cannot lose sight of. And now coming to your centrality of the question, I would say that this Balochi liberation has been going on for quite some time, but essentially it has picked up momentum from 2018 onwards. 2018 and 19, if I recall correctly. In the year 2019, same America which had given the status of liberators, of freedom fighters way back in 2012, the Congress of US had given them the status. They withdrew the status and started putting them under the brand head of as terrorists. And nowadays, although US has actually backtracked now recently, about a couple of days back, when it was being put up for a resolution in the United Nations Security Council, that's a separate story. But the momentum of this particular liberation movement has picked up post 2019, and I would say from 2023 onwards. 2024 is the year where the Pakistan forces and the administration, they have been subjected to huge attrition. Why is this attrition taking place? The main issue is that Balochistan, despite the size, the landmass, it has got the minimum population, 1.5 crores. Whereas if you compare with the Punjab province of Pakistan, Punjab province has got 15 crores. So going by your democratic norm of budget allocation, wherever you have lesser population, they get lesser amount for socio-economic development. The unemployment crisis is there. There is no roti, kapda, makan, there is no bijli, pani, sadak, nothing is there. So the same people, same land, which is giving them almost close to 65 to 70% of iron ore, gold, copper, all kinds of minerals, and adding on to the GDP of the Pakistan, they get just minuscule, hardly any insignificant percentage of the GDP for the socio-economic development and employment opportunities being what it is. And also, they are very, very anguished by one thing, I would say, the extrajudicial killings, the hijacking which is taking place, forced disappearances of the people. Look at the way how people are being abducted, being kidnapped from nowhere, and they are being taken to no place. They totally disappear from the screen of accountability. So these are the circumstances under which the issue is picking up momentum. Coming to the Jaffar Express, which has taken place, the incident for the third time, it is happening place because it is the main artery of connectivity between the mainland of Pakistan, that is Punjab, Peshawar, and with that of Quetta. It's a distance of 1700 kilometers. Jaffar Express is actually connecting between Balochistan, the capital of Balochistan is Quetta, and Peshawar, and it will keep on happening until unless Pakistan actually reconciles with the demands of the people of the Balochis. And I think it's about time that rather than prolonging the agony, they need to sit down, apply themselves, and think in a more pragmatic manner. Balochis are also upset.
Absolutely.
That now it was Chinese.
Absolutely, sir. I will ask you to please stay on with us. There is some breaking input that is coming in on this same story.